Cope and Stoke was I barely will call this a match. This was as much of an angle for an AEW promoted match as you're going to get. Stokeley is dragged to the ring by security, and finally the match begins. And Stokeley was very funny here. Twice he runs at Cope and bounces off of him like Cope was Andre the Giant here, and just bounces off of him. The crowd is just having fun. They're chanting "Fight Forever" or "Holy shit." And Cope starts interviewing fans that could not have been more planted if they had just had the word attached to their forehead. Spears him inside of the ring when FTR appear. Now, initially, wasn't this like 200 feet that this that this stipulation was, that the restraining order held them to? I didn't have my measuring tape out, but I don't think the entire length of this arena was 200 feet. So they're out there, but oh man, do we help them or not? And they eventually run to the ring, thus negating the restraining order. It is now null and void, which again, this is how restraining orders work, folks. And he fights off FTR, but then as he goes for a spear to Stokeley throws powder in his face. FTR get involved, and the DQ is called. So FTR beat on him, and our five guys at ringside chanted, "We want Christian." Christian heard, and as they're going for the Spike pile driver, out comes Christian Cage to his music with Spike chasing them away. Then Nick Wayne appears with a chair. He gets stopped by Spike, and then Kip Sabian appears, and Cope makes the save, spearing Sabian. And then Cope and Cage go back to back. They turn around, and Copeland has still got all the powder thrown from Stokeley, and he looked like Daniel Stern in like Home Alone 2 during the break-in. So they stare at one another, and I'm like, man, they're accelerating this a bit. And then they hug. I'm like, they're really accelerating this. And then by the end of the next quarter hour, they're in a tag match for Forbidden Door against Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne. So this went into hyper speed, and we got the reunion. Christian found himself in the last 2 weeks after his promo that did not lead you to any of this all of a sudden. And that was that. He nods to Copeland and walks off.
I mean, the promo did sort of to me, I was satisfied enough with the pace of this reunion, and I also understand the fact that like Tony likely wanted more, as full of a card as possible by this point in the build up to Forbidden Door, to sell more tickets, to just build anticipation for a Copeland Christian reunion, that I think they needed to ramp things up and actually give you at the very least a hug prior to announcing the match itself. They did also though say that, okay, even if they have, like Excalibur I believe was like saying, even if they still have differences, the match is official, so they better work things out. So I think you're still going to get teases of dissent between the two of them slightly.
Yeah. I do think Copeland needs to sit down with him and say, about my dead mother that you made light of.
Well, Christian, I thought like justified that decently in saying that, Copeland, you've done a lot of shitty things in your time too as a heel, and therefore this is just me playing the role of bad guy in a professional.
He did attack Cena's father at his home, so I guess it's a fair game.
He
at
understands,
that point.
Right?
Yeah, so I mean, the way I feel this should be mapped out is, like, FTR should win these tag belts from the Hurt Syndicate. And I think, like, they have always talked about the idea, like, they have never had the tag titles headline a pay-per-view. Copeland and Cage going for the tag titles in Toronto, that should be the main event of that show, if that's where you're going towards.
I think it could be a very justifiable main event.
I would say if you're ever going to headline a show with the tag titles, I think this is the closest you've got to do it.
Well, let me pause there. I would not have Hangman Page be the semi-main event two pay-per-views in a row if the Lights Out is in fact headlining this one.
It's not the real main event. It's it's Lights Out way.
I think that FTR versus Edge and Christian could be placed anywhere on the show, and it would still be one of the big reactions of the event.
Let me put it this way: in Toronto, it should be promoted as
it will be
strong as anything.
Edge in the maple leaf is the logo, is the poster of All Out. So yeah, it would be.
G1 Climax season continues on the Post Wrestling Cafe as we march toward the final on August 17th. Every single match in the tournament will be covered. Plus, we're going back to 2001 for a review of the King of the Ring, featuring Kurt Angle taking on Shane McMahon and Edge winning the tournament. Plus, John and Wai are going to be reviewing all episodes of the WWE Unreal series on Netflix. Ask Away, Post Pro Res, Collision Course, so much more can be found monthly at postwrestlingcafe.com.